We'll take as a case study a proposed development in Alston that has been discussed in the recent months. The discussion about the project has happened in hearings at the City Hall. The request of the developer is the increase in the FAR of the property.
Calling next case, calling BOA 892-932-44 North Beacon Street.
So the program today is 5 stories, 52 feet, 30 units.
The conversation is led by the lawyer. The developer is sitting next to him and the architect doesn't even have a place. This is a direct result of the complexity of the zoning norms that regulate city growth.
And the FAR here is 1. What's the FAR for this?
1.9
It's 1 point.
Interestingly enough, Boston zoning rules are not set in stone. They are artificially restrictive. For the increasing FAR, the developer has to enter into a negotiation.
9. How are the plans, Mr. Oleg?
The drawings are adequate.
Any questions from the board?
The negotiation is led by the Zoning Board of Appeals. Urban plans are discussed from time to time, but the everyday building of the city is decided by this board.
Is anybody here to speak in support of this proposal?
Madam Chair, members of the board, Connor Newman with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services would like to go on record as supporter of this project. They went through extensive community process with the BPDA, and also my office as well. We conducted an abutters meeting. They met with the civics, they heard, they got feedback, and they drastically scaled back the project and made concessions, so we'd like to go on record as support.
Other 2 people spoke in support: Daniel Polanco from the office of a city councilor and Antonio Disidoro from a neighborhood association. The last one said that the developer promised not to rent to undergraduate students. Then it was the turn for the opposing neighbors.
Improvement Association, though this project is scaled back, it used to be a large project review, it's half the size, it's still a very large project with no community benefits. It has trash outside in an area with large rat problems.
Another lady spoke in opposition. She was first confused about what project was being discussed. She then opposed because the development will block the light and airflow of her apartment.
The opponent, what are your plans for trash security and removal?
A traditional enclosed with...
You're going to 1.9 with a 52 stories in height, so there is a huge benefit to you. Almost double the FAR. So there are ways that this can be accommodated.
Yeah, we could explore a way to incorporate the trash inside the building.
Okay, thank you. May I have a motion, please?
Make a motion for approval, BPDA design review with particular attention to the issue of the trash.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. You're all set. Good luck.
There was no discussion of the other issues raised by the neighbors. Nor was there a chance for the voice of other stakeholders such as the cost-burdened residents of the city. We think that perhaps the whole dynamic might benefit from a change of the setting of these interactions.
Much of these contradictions and conflicts between the actors is due to misinformations and fundamentally lack of empathy. It is difficult to understand the legitimate concerns of the other party. An impossibly complex zoning code and a court-like public hearing are just not the best venues for this interaction. What to do? What to do? We begin thinking spatially on the site. There are many elements that create a thriving neighborhood. The City Science Research Group of the MIT Media Lab has grouped them in 3 categories: density, proximity, and diversity. Their idea is to take datasets like population density, business counts or ethnic diversity and feed them into a machine learning model that is trying to maximize the urban performance. Instead of zoning codes full of legal language, these categories may help us understand the logic behind the FAR potential of buildings. They also allow us to understand the trade-offs between conflicting values in a neighborhood. Based on these premises, we are introducing Game of Zones. Game of Zones is a platform which will complement the data analysis of the city with the input from both the community and professionals. It will also promote interaction between different actors in a transparent and game-like setting. The platform will display the different benefits that people might want for the neighborhood and, at the same time, the corresponding increases in density. The platform will show the implications for each decision in a friendly layout that will resemble successful games such as SimCity or Minecraft. Although a complete platform might have different types of amenities to vote for, in our first pilot we are going to develop one of them, the proximity to a commercial space. The users will be able to voice their opinion about the different kinds of commercial space. Maybe the opening of a new grocery store or a community center. Each level of density has an amenity to be developed as a complement. These opinions are based on a visualization in real time of the changes that different choices imply. For each choice, the platform will show the feasible envelope and a projected sample of the commercial space. The users are able to zoom in, zoom out, and pan around in order to have different views of the property. The users also have the option to include suggestions and respond to other comments, for example, from other neighbors, developer, or other interest groups. Once a vote is made, the current result would show immediately. The window of visualization will show the current winning option. Our ultimate goal is to replace the public hearings with this platform of interaction. We aim to convince the City of Boston to use this methodology as the primary source for decision-making in terms of zoning of the city. Our longer-term aim is to introduce it into other cities in need of more density. If banking can already be done online, why can we not do urban design online?